Yes, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Shola Rogers.
And my name is Dolokwa. Ola Dolokwa.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us for the first time, if you're just hearing about the Boom Bar for the first time, we bid you a warm welcome.
Warm welcome. This is where we give you gist about sports, entertainment, music. I say sports, I wanted to say football.
It's possible. It's possible. People do that thing, although I shouldn't say that.
No, don't. Thank you.
But people do it, so let's just leave it.
Let's move on.
It's like when people say, they like traveling abroad a lot, or that they've been to the United States and New York and Chicago. Okay, sorry now, New York and Chicago, that way they, and America,
You know that it's only one plane that you will enter to go leave Nigeria to go to America, though.
No, it's not one. No, we are connecting flights.
To go to America.
Yeah.
Like I said, yes.
Yeah, it's not one.
By the time you have gotten to America, then you are connecting flights.
No, some of us fly through other parts of the world to get to America.
Fair enough.
I know people who go to Turkey to get to America.
Fair enough. Okay.
So
I feel that there's something you were about to say.
nothing.
What is it with Turkey?
Nothing.
That seems like a lie.
No, I know someone who actually did. Turkish Airways, goes to America, and the system now. Every airline goes to their home country first.
Yeah.
Before redirecting you to your destination.
Okay.
It's just standard practice.
I get it.
Airline
But
goes to their home country first.
Yeah.
Before redirecting you
I feel
to your
that you are
destination.
saying that.
Absolutely nothing.
Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, like I said earlier. So I think that we should just start really. What do you
My glasses.
can't find this?
Thank you.
Okay, so basically, let's begin. There's been a lot of talks. Basically, let's start with something very. A lot of people might not have seen it, but I felt it, and I was very sorry for this particular person. Very, very, very sorry, because I'm wondering why is this happening, or why does this happen a lot. I know that it's the law, but so American rapper, it was talked about today. I don't know if you've seen the story. Dr. Dre has been ordered by the court to pay his ex-wife Nicole Young $300,000 monthly in spousal support till she gets remarried.
Smart girl.
And I'm like, okay, what are you spending $300,000 for?
That's none of your business. It is called spousal
Dollars,
support.
oh. And what if she doesn't get married?
Well, he keeps paying on it.
How are you sure he has that kind of money?
And then he will go to court and seek for another solution. The thing is that the legal systems, even the one in Nigeria, you find it hard to swallow some of the
things
that
yeah,
you hear about the law. And again, that's why in saner climes that they call themselves, in places like America and the rest, you really have to be careful when you're doing virtually everything, because you don't know the legal implications of what you're doing or saying. Their law is basically structured in a way that if you become successful, it is believed that your spouse has contributed one way or the other to it. Unlike here, where your money is your money.
Money is my money.
And my money is my money.
Everybody just keep their money to themselves.
So in that case, Dr. Dre and Nicole Young, when they got married, he wasn't this rich. Then he got rich while they were married. Then for the life of me, I don't know why, but we know it happens they parted ways. And again, in what ways? Why? What were the reasons and all of that? You get. So for this reason, he has to pay $300,000 a month. Now, conspiracy theories will tell you that is in some scenarios like this, it's actually better that you receive spousal support than stay married to the person.
Yeah, because you're probably not going to get that much
He's
money.
not going to give you $300,000 every month.
Now he's compelled to.
You know, it's not going to do it. He's just going to. My man is just going to be like,
whatever you have.
Be nice and all. But again, it's funny how some people, their divorces were so final. Like Jeff Bezos, that when he was done paying his wife, paying her off and everything, she became one of the richest women in the world. And then the pandemic came and he made back that money 3 times over. I think he paid about 60 or 70, billion. Man, whatever it is, the law is funny. And right now, if I'm Dr. Dre, I'm just going to create a reality show quietly and tell him, marry my ex and win 1 million or 2 million. The earlier someone marries her, the earlier you can get her off your...
Yeah, the case still in court. They say they still need another judge to ratify it. But basically, I just think that I don't think it's just completely very fair on things like that. That's just my own.
No, without understanding the reasons for their divorce, the grounds for their divorce in the first place, I can't say if it's fair or not. We don't know, know. And again, like they will tell you, it is assumed that your spouse played a role in your success.
But what
now,
if they didn't?
They are leeches.
Why are we assuming? Why do we assume?
There was Liz Taylor, who I think she married about 10 men or so. Often there was one particular guy that she married, and Larry Fortensky or so. She married him twice or something. She was just like how men that have money. That's what she did, And you find out that she had to pay almost every time that this happened, except when she married a rich person and all of that. But it cuts both ways. It's just that there are more men involved, or maybe there are more men who are assumed to be successful and they have to pay spousal support or alimony or whatever name they decide to call it. However, that's why you just pray that when you're marrying, you're getting it right from the get. You're getting everything, because you never can tell when life happens and people have to go their separate ways. At least it's better than the gory things I hear about separation. Some are enforced. Some people stay in a marriage and they are just dying every day. Not physically but mentally and emotionally. So I just feel that Dr. Dre needs to do something fast, because if I'm Nicole Young, man, trust me, I'm just gonna be eyeing boys from afar, and then okay, what's my own 300,000 is coming in a few days.
I'm marrying you.
If she stays like that for like a few years, she can buy an island somewhere.
Yeah. Every month.
Yeah, in a year, she's gonna get $3.6 million
every month. That's mind blowing.
Without doing anything. 3.6 million.
And talking about moving on from that, and let's talk a little bit about COVID. Let's even come to Nigeria first. That we know that as of yesterday, the numbers were about 238 new cases, 2 deaths were recorded. But the scary part is that NCDC, that's the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, has said that the numbers have increased by 77% in the last 1 week.
Yeah. I believe those numbers. In fact, I still believe that we're still underreporting when it comes to COVID in Africa in general, not just Nigeria. So I believe the NCDC figures and pronouncements. And again, like a broken record will say, please stay safe, protect yourselves, avoid mass gatherings, wash your hands regularly, wear your face mask all the time when you're in public, and don't shake hands. People are still shaking hands. You know, basically protect yourself and observe all the safety protocols. But people still feel like it's nothing. So I saw a guy tweet yesterday, and he was talking about how him and his entire family had COVID.
Oh.
Him, the wife, and children. Here in Nigeria, here in Lagos. He says he's glad that the children are doing okay. For him, that he's doing okay too, but he's never felt this bad before in his entire life. You know? And that, look guys, this thing is real. Be careful, stay safe and everything. But trust me, people are just going to gloss over that message because it doesn't concern them, in quote. But it's important that we stay safe. It's very important. Very, very.
So still talking about COVID and talking about the Olympics. In the past 24 hours, 12 different people have also been reported to have COVID. And now, in that vein, they have actually announced that once the Olympics starts in full, which I think is starting tomorrow, that athletes are going to be undergoing daily COVID tests. I think, as much as I know that that's what it is, isn't it cheaper if they had just cancelled it? I think that is very intrusive. I've never taken a COVID test. I hope not. Because there's no part of it that looks wonderful.
With that long thing that...
Do you get, like, no part of it looks wonderful. So I'm like, you're not telling people to do that every single day? Wow.
You know, it's like what we say in theater, that show must go on, no matter what. I think that's the mistake that they are in with the Olympics, that no matter what, show must go on. You know, a lot of people are still trying to get there. A lot of people are still working hard. You know, they want to be a part of it. It's an opportunity of a lifetime for them. So no matter what we say, you know, they're just looking at the big picture for them, which is that they are fulfilling maybe a lifetime goal, or you know, they're cashing in on a lifetime opportunity, you know, being at the Olympics. Someone said somewhere that it's the strangest Olympics ever.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, you can't help but agree.
Oh, of course.
That yes, indeed, this is the strangest Olympics ever. You can't help but agree that it's not exactly what anybody had pictured when Tokyo was given the nod. But this is where we are now. This is what life has thrown at us, and what we have to do now is make the best of it. The prayer is that it does not get worse, because if it does, after all this stress, it now gets cancelled halfway or something. That's going to be the worst thing ever.
It's going to be the worst. It's going to be the worst. And the worst part is that because what I'm even little bit, I won't say little, really scared about is not even people getting it. In the first place, Tokyo is not having any, Japan generally is not having any good with COVID.
No, they're not.
And now a lot of people are coming into the place, even if they don't have that. It means that even if they don't have COVID, there's also a high risk of them contacting COVID. And then they're going to God knows how many countries when they leave. And then you leave Tokyo and you're all going back to how many countries? And then you're transferring whatever it is that you might have gotten in Tokyo back to your countries again.
Yeah, the Olympics might turn out to be a super spreader, the way things are going, because you just like you said, the traffic in and out of Tokyo. Solely now we're talking about athletes and officials.
Yeah.
Thank God that fans are not allowed. You know, that's one of the reasons why they said it's the strangest Olympics ever, because the Olympics experience was also something that fans looked forward to, and the Olympic movement. You know, so a lot of people will not be at the Olympics, but the ones that are there, when they start to go back to base, footballers will go back. Maybe some will go back to their home country before going back to where they play or ply their trade, and it might be two different continents entirely. That's you still moving around with this. But what you would hope is that with the plans to have daily tests of athletes and officials, they will be able to curtail the spread, of the virus. Then again, they also opened up a vaccination center, and we still need explanations as to how people who are just arrived in Japan are getting COVID. They're supposed to have done the mandatory pre-flight test, and most of them are even supposed to be fully vaccinated. So, but in the last 4 or 5 days now, I think we have collectively close to 100 cases. Collectively.
Last, I think yesterday or 2 days ago there was about 70 something. Now there's another 12. Yes, definitely close to 100. And moving on from that, there's something else that I wanted to talk about. Talking about diseases. Sorry that we're starting the show. On a lot of things.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And still staying in Nigeria, because there are a lot of things. Now, it has now been said that in Abuja, about 60 people have died from cholera.
60
people.
That's a lot. 60 Nigerians dead from cholera.
I think the NCDC has their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they do. And it doesn't look like an easy one.
Yeah.
You start to feel like saying, what's going on? What
exactly is going on? And we're not even there. We're not even done yet.
That it was announced that China had the first death from bird.
Was it China?
India.
India
had the first
death from bird flu. And you're like,
a few hours ago.
When are we really going to catch a break at the end of the day? And talking about diseases, still going on about diseases. Monkeypox, which it is said to be, thankfully, less deadlier than smallpox, is a variant of smallpox. But smallpox is the one thing that is a one virus, according to, because of vaccines, which I think that they give most children at birth. The world has successfully eradicated the virus of smallpox. But there's monkeypox, which is not as deadly as smallpox, but it too does not have a cure. They just get treated. And now we heard last week where a man that from the US had come back from Nigeria and had gotten smallpox. The US is now saying that they have tracked about 200 people that he might have had contact with
in 27 states.
They're also saying that it was unlikely for him to have transferred it on the plane, because it was mandatory that everybody had a face mask on. So there's a lot of those are also the people that they're tracing. They also had a connecting flight from Atlanta all the way to Texas. So all those things are things they put in
Delta.
Yeah. Basically, also in Nigeria, the NCDC had also talked about yesterday how there are 15 confirmed cases. There were also about 60 cases of monkeypox. There are 60 cases that they're still testing that are suspected to be monkeypox. But they're only sure of 15 yet. And I think it's something that we also need to talk about. Monkeypox really basically is a viral thing, so there's really nothing anybody can do about it. But it is actually also spread through respiratory droplets and contacts with body fluids, monkeypox sores. Now, basically, it's from, if maybe somebody that has monkeypox, the fluid from their body gets to another person's body, and if it's ingested, and one thing that is pops, and basically respiratory droplets and all that. And you know what this thing reminds me of? COVID. They tell you that COVID is not airborne, but you can get it through respiratory droplets, someone that sneezes or someone that is. So that's why there's the issue of social distancing, there's the issue of face masks, washing our hands, not putting our hands in our ears, in our noses, in our mouth.
The way you touch
surfaces, and all those things. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if we can stick to COVID guidelines and COVID precautions, we definitely would help ourselves with not just monkeypox and COVID, even with the issue of cholera. Cholera too is basically contaminated
and
stuff.
Seems to be on the increase.
Yes.
You know, the painful part for me is how we all carry on as if it does not concern us. You know, we all carry on like, oh yeah, what's gonna happen, man? That's them. You know, some people still feel that they're being scammed.
Yeah.
You hear them say it. You hear them say it. You hear them say it everywhere. Some people feel that they're being scammed. Some people feel that government just wants to make money. I'm saying, okay, you know, we can rule out some of these things that you people are saying, but trying to say that it does not exist,
I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I agree with you. It's I don't know why we do the things we do or why we say the things that we say. I just wish that we can just be more careful. We know that stuff like cholera is gotten from contaminated food, contaminated drinks. Watch what you eat, watch what you drink. It's not everything that should go into your mouth.
Not everything you see.
Not everything you should eat. We should now. It is actually the time to be more conscious of buying food.
Yeah.
Outside, even party food.
Even the party itself.
Even attending parties and all that. Now, I'm just saying, like, food that you're not sure of the sauce. You're not sure of how it's cooked, the kind of water that is being used to cook it. Those things really, really needs to be. Those are things that we really need to watch, and we need to watch very, very, very fast, so that we do not have another pandemic on our hands. And then moving on from that.
The one that we have, safe, we're still struggling.
We're still struggling. We don't want more things. And now, I want us to talk about. Of course, Sunday Igboho is in the news. It's always been in the news for like the past few days that he has been arrested. And now that I don't know. Yes, today it was announced that he was going to be in court. Last week I heard it said he's in court. Don't know the outcome of it yet. But the trending story now is that I know that they're saying that Nigeria wants him extradited back to Nigeria from Benin Republic. But that Benin Republic is going on about the fact that he has to answer for the crimes
in their own country.
And the crimes are literally immigration issues, because how do you have a Beninese passport? You're Nigerian. If you're a Nigerian, if you're going to Benin Republic, your Nigerian passport will take you to Benin Republic. It's an ECOWAS passport.
You don't even need a passport. The ECOWAS thing still stands now, Abi?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you don't need a visa.
You don't need a visa. That's what we're saying. So you just need your passport. That's it.
Because our passports are ECOWAS issued.
Yes,
now,
they're ECOWAS issued. So that's my issue. That I think that, and then I think you can stay in another country, in ECOWAS country, for about 3 months or something before
without a visa.
Without a visa or something friendly like that. But he was not trying to go there. He was actually using a Beninese passport as a Beninese citizen to go to Germany.
You know, this thing is about status, right? Like, there's certain levels that you attain in life that some things can happen and it's not a problem. I'll get to that.
Okay.
During the struggle against Abacha. The Nigerians who formed a group called Nadeco were the ones who spoke against what the government was doing, and they were persecuted. A lot of them had to leave Nigeria. Do you know some of these people traveled without passports?
Yeah, I know.
And some of them had to go through this same Benin Republic.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nobody arrested them. Nobody put them back on a plane to Nigeria. Nobody did any of those things. In fact, there's a story of one of the Nadeka people who had somehow found his way to Ghana. And he got on a plane that was supposed to take him to America. And funny enough, the plane took off from Ghana. I was supposed to go and connect somewhere in Europe, and they found themselves in Nigeria. So they were inquiring if they had to disembark, because if they did, then he's finished. Then he just said he was going to sit back on the plane, which is what he did. And for some reason, apparently they wanted to get aviation fuel, and there was a shortage in Ghana, and Nigeria was the closest. That's why they came to Lagos.
No, don't worry.
So he stayed
I'm good.
on the plane.
And I know that I heard that once you're on a plane on another country or something, wherever you are that plane is.
See, if that government of Abacha had known that any of those Nadeko people were on the plane in Murtala Mohammed, forget all those things. You know, those guys didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't.
They really didn't care about all of those charters and stuff you get. So it gets interesting when people have to go through that thing. I'm saying it's only Igbo has a status now that is beyond whatever he had 4 months ago.
Oh yeah.
So he can call himself a freedom fighter. He could claim he's a prisoner of conscience. He can claim so many things.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
You get?
But
So
why do you have that passport?
No, I'm saying that there are ways that
you can do it legally.
Yeah, legally, and you speak to.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The EU or the US or any of the people who want to help you, and they would just give you some document, like a travel certificate or something.
You don't need to get their
You
passport.
don't. But if you go and get the passport of a country, and it's not issued officially, it's a big problem.
It's a crime. It's a crime. So basically, the issue now is that they're telling Nigeria that he has to answer for his issue, which means that if care is not taken, he might actually go to jail. And then when it's done, I don't know if maybe Nigeria will still be interested to transfer him back here again.
I always wonder how you get to that level
and you just
you make this kind of mistakes.
Silly mistakes, yeah.
I'm not even going to mock him. People have mocked him enough. I'm not going to praise him. People have praised him enough. I'm just going to say, when you are at this level,
because
you shouldn't be making these kind of mistakes.
Because when you
now
think
you
about
have
it,
a long list of lawyers.
I have a
the
question.
Ones that you know and you don't know who claim to be.
I have a question.
Don't they advise you?
I have a question. So, are they saying that his German visa or his German residency or whatever was okay? It's not a visa, right? It's his residency. On what passport?
On which nationality did he?
Nationality did you get it from?
That's a question that we need answers for.
The truth is, if it has to be on the passport you're taking to Germany. Because if it was on a Nigerian passport, the Beninese passport that you're taking does not probably. So you definitely, maybe it is on that, which also makes it worse.
The other thing is, in reality, the evidence stacked up against, say, the IPOB leader now is online. What exactly are the issues that Mr. Igboho has with government?
Nigerian government.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Except if they start to list them, then we understand the gravity.
There is the
there are talks of
in his house and
being in possession of illegal arms.
Illegal arms, yeah.
Which, of course, we have to look at what the legal implications are.
Mm-hmm.
What else are the charges? Has he done anything treasonable? You know, what are the charges that the Nigerian government might want to hold him for? Reason why I'm saying that is that at times it's not worth it running. At times you stay back.
Yeah. And if you are innocent, that's what my issue is, that at times.
Remember that with all the issues that the Nigerian government had with Nnamdi Kanu, they granted him bail.
Bail, yeah.
So Sunday Igboho really didn't have to run.
There was the treasonable fellow. He's still like, and let's be honest
with
ourselves. I'm not a fan of Yele Sowore. Never been. But he's someone that, yes, there's also the issue of treasonable felony that he has. Yeah? He didn't run, at least out of the three people that we're talking about now. He didn't run. He's on bail. Maybe he can't leave Abuja. But he's a free man. In fact, he's free to the extent that he's doing as he likes.
Nah, didn't he go protest at the police?
Do you understand? And nothing happened to him. Hate him or love him, he did not run.
People didn't have to run.
But you didn't have to run. That's what. That's if you're really
that when you fight and run away, you leave to.
You are not living. Okay, now how many people? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Because it's in the bit of running
he got
that he might have gotten involved with people who got him that.
Because it gets worse, because the minute you run, you're worsening your case. You're not making it easy for yourself or your lawyers to prove yourself.
You become a fugitive.
You become a fugitive. Now, to worsen it take Nnamdi Kanu, for example. Nnamdi Kanu has added the fact that he jumped bail. He has added it to his list of...
There no more bail. That's what it means.
There's no more bail. You have added it to your list of offenses. And I'm like, if you really... Because they still say, according to the law, you're innocent until proven guilty. The same thing with Abdulrashid Maina. Until the man literally had to, and he ran.
So like,
and then how do you explain yourself that you're not guilty?
Like I was saying again, some of the people who were Nadeko people are in government today. They understand
a lot of them, a lot.
They ran away from Nigeria. In their own case, they had to run. How they got travel documents without using a Nigerian passport. So I'm saying that someone like, well, maybe I was expecting that he would have at least maybe reached out to, you know, countries that can say, you know what, we understand your position, pending when things go a certain way. Here is your travel document. Come to our country, we'll, you know, and knowing that he has a family in Germany and all of that, again, that helps. You get. But again, I don't understand the part where
the idea of running. I don't get it. I don't get it.
A document that might not have been issued officially. And if that's the case, because there are different allegations, French-speaking African nations, they no send you. They're not funny at all.
They're not.
They don't play around.
They do not at all. And the truth is that I know that the court.
And I have a feeling that they don't like us. I have a feeling.
I don't want to, like you said, I think it's a feeling too, because I don't think that they're very, yes, and other than the fact that they don't like Nigerians, Benin Republic there are a few countries, let's be honest ourselves, like Niger, Benin Republic, there are some other countries like that they are extension of Nigeria.
In a way.
They literally they will not
pick. At government level.
At government level. They would rather pick the federal government over you, and that's the truth of the matter. We've seen how things are done, not even by the book, and nothing happened. That's the thing that I'm like, and I'm wondering, like, if you are really not, shouldn't you stay and actually fight the cause? That's the problem. I don't know why they do the things that they do. And if this so-called passport in question, if it was done officially from the airport, they would have seen its data, probably would have been, you see how you actually check your details and all that. So if it was, there wouldn't have been an arrest in the first place. That's what I even feel.
There was people saying that Sunday Bulls protest. Supporters should protest. They should come out. They did that yesterday.
And what has that done?
And the funny thing is, I saw a video of them in front of Splash FM Ibadan. I said, okay, yeah, Splash FM will put you on their news, right?
Yeah.
Good. But I don't think it's
What
a
does that
private radio station that you should go to.
You should go to, yeah.
What happened to the state
Radio
secretariat?
Nigeria.
No, the state secretariat. What happened to the House of Assembly and the other government
But
places?
the truth is that, can any state governor really do anything about this matter?
But you have to receive them.
Okay, true. At least you say that you would tender their grievances.
It's even more important. It's even more impactful if they go to the constituency office of their House of Assembly member, of their House of Rep member,
their
of
Senate,
their senator.
Yeah, so that he will probably, unfortunately, do
because
break.
But the instant you take that complaint to him, he's obliged, isn't it?
He
Why
is,
there?
but when? That's the thing.
So, but how many people was Splash going to reach for them, apart from the people of Ibadan?
I'm sure that they do. They have the ways that there's a reason for the things that they do. But also, moving on from that, yeah, I'm talking about Nnamdi Kanu. Someone called Uche Mefo, a deputy leader of the former deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra till 2020, has maintained with reference to the lives destroyed that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the outlawed group, is deceitful. He says that he is adverse to violence and has stressed that human rights must be respected in Biafra pursuits. He said, and I quote, "I maintain that culture of lies and of deception and of blackmail of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB with reference to the lives destroyed and who cannot speak for themselves will take generations to undo." He wrote this on his Facebook page yesterday. So he's saying that see how they falsely label and destroy people's character with impunity. When I said that what goes up must come down, I meant every bit of it. Whatever anybody sow, they will reap. IPOB is seeking for a breakaway nation of the plan, although not new, has gained traction in the eastern Nigeria, but that he is saying that the way they're going about it is the reason he left IPOB.
I have had this discussion with a couple of people. It's been off and on and off. People are of the opinion that, I know people who will say, there's nothing wrong with what they're saying, nothing wrong with what they're doing. But I say to myself, I don't think that's the right approach.
Yeah.
I get where the former deputy leader of IPOB is coming from.
And I totally agree with him.
The sad part is, if you look at statements being made by the separationists or secessionists, they're referencing something that doesn't exist by law. They want a referendum. What they're saying is that with the referendum, they will be able to vote, and they will vote leave, like Brexit. If you go back to the human rights struggles and the racist battles that the African Americans faced in America, there was an era that threw up two different leaders, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Malcolm X, by any means necessary, Malcolm X was ready to go to physical war if there was a need for it. Martin Luther King, on the other hand, still fighting for the same thing, like Malcolm X, was pleading for patience and how they had to protest peacefully, how they had to organize sit-ins and marches and all of that, like the march on Selma and all that things. And that's the kind of scenario we have now. Yep, a particular leader who feels that by any means necessary, while there's another leader or former leader who says violence is not the way to go.
Not the way to go.
When you talk to people and say, why are they endorsing violence in the process of trying to achieve their own country, they will tell you
there has to be
collateral
damage.
damage.
I heard that thing a few times, and I'm like, we can't continue like this. People cannot die just because you want something.
Which also shows that if you get what you want, people's lives would not matter to you, because
Meaning
you were
that
willing
anything
to
can
sacrifice
happen.
whatever it is to get whatever it is you wanted. I believe that Nigeria needs to be restructured. I believe that if we're going to continue as a unified country, which I want us to, we need to look for a localized solution that works for all of us.
Everybody.
We probably don't have to rely on the definitions of democracy as handed down by the Oyinbos. But I would never subscribe to violence. I would never subscribe to any means necessary
Just to get what you want. And so, still talking about it, Senate Minority Leader Naya Abaribe had on Wednesday said that he will stand shorty for detained leader of Indigenous people of Biafra again, given the same circumstances.
Is he still qualified after standing shorty and the person jump bail once? I'm not sure they should look at someone like you too.
Excuse me, I don't even know why he didn't.
In a nation of laws, how is it that the senator that stood shorty for Maina, the alleged pension funds appropriator, was arrested for this purpose, and the one that stood shorty for Nnamdi Kanu was not arrested?
I know that there are different courts and different judges. I know that Senator Abaribe, I remember very well that there was an issue by the time he was, and I think the case is still in court, where he was asking to not be held accountable for Nnamdi Kanu's escape. But my point is, what's the point of you being a shorty? And we probably will not even be having this discussion at all if we did not see that another senator actually went to prison for about, I think, 5 days.
Yeah.
He actually went to jail. And we've seen, and this is why I think that we shouldn't even be having these discussions anymore. It's something they call, I don't know what I can't remember what it's called in law. Precedence. The minute somebody has already gone to jail for that kind of thing, I don't even get a discussion about it anymore. You stand shorty for someone, the person jumps bail, you're going to jail straight. There's no two way about it. And we saw how quickly Abdulrashid Maina surfaced.
Barely a week or two.
Barely a week after he surfaced, and he's talking about the fact that, and Senator Abaribe is talking about the fact that he's our son, he's from our state, Abia. Kanu said it himself that he ran for his dear life. There's a difference between jumping bail and escaping for your life. I'm lost. How are these people senators?
And the thing is, if we're a nation of laws, all they need to do is revert to the existing laws as it concerns such statements.
So according to him,
statements.
He's claiming that he went back to court and deposed that on the basis of the principle of last seen, that the last people that saw him with soldiers of the Nigerian army who were invading his father's residence. And the judge ultimately ruled that she was revoking bail and issued a warrant of arrest, thereby removing him, the senator, from the responsibility of providing him.
Well, I hope that the senator Abaribe knows what
he's
doing,
at this point.
You know, because even if you support the agitations, this is not the way to go about it. But
I'm sorry, if you support the agitations, I have two questions. Okay, just one. How are you still a senator? Why are you not a senator of Biafra? And why are you still collecting salary from Nigeria? It don't work. You can't be collecting salary as senator in Nigeria and you want Biafra. Pack your load and go to Biafra.
Strong points right there.
You can't. I'm sorry. He's a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not of the Federal Republic of Biafra. And as according to the oath that he's supposed to be loyal to Nigeria, except he renounces or if tomorrow he decides to resign as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think what he's even doing is a little bit treasonable.
It is. It is because, like you said, you swore to uphold.
You uphold. You are even a senator. You are the ones that literally in charge of our
You're
constitution.
You're the same person who knows that someone jumped bail, but nobody's addressing that. I even wonder how even this government is glossing over it.
No, he's claiming that he went to court, and like we say, the court is the law is. They found the ways to
subvert the law.
interpret the law to suit their own way. So he's claiming that's the reason why he didn't get arrested, because the bail had been revoked. So whether he was there or not, he was not in his purview to look for the person anymore. But I think that it's just gibberish. But whatever it is that this man is going on about, resign as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Stop using taxpayers' money of Nigeria to get.
It gives him more time to do what he wants to do.
What you want to do, exactly. I'm sorry, it's just not making any sense to me. But there is also a story that popped up today and said that the Oni of Ife had set up a committee to look into Sunday Igboho's arrest. I don't understand what that's.
Well,
I don't understand what it is.
The headline says it all. You do remember that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Igboho has been abandoned." Maybe the Oni is trying to tell them, "No, we haven't abandoned him. Let's see what we can do." That regardless of what he did to the Oni.
I was going to say that, like, are you serious? Really? But anyway, moving on, talking about a little bit of court here, there's a story that popped up, and the story is that in the Uyo zonal office of the EFCC, they have arrested one Ewa Oko Edmond, popularly known as Street Lawyer, for allegedly presenting forged medical report to procure bail of his client for an alleged internet fraud case currently under trial. Now, and the client and the lawyer, they are both
in jail. Now, look at it like this. You're trying to get someone off for an alleged criminal offense. Then you commit a criminal offense.
So they're claiming, yeah, the prosecution said that on receiving the bail documents, actually the court, yeah, went to, and EFCC went to the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital to verify the authenticity of the medical report, saying that it looked suspicious, as they had actually taken the defendant to do several medical checks and there was nothing wrong with him, including COVID-19 tests. And that according to the report, that he has a severe case of ulcer. And now they're claiming that indicated that the positive H. pylori test report attached to the bail application did not emanate from the hospital. They also said that this particular person has never been a patient
at the university hospital.
At the hospital, and the doctor that signed the medical report was also not a staff of the hospital.
I will not be caught on tape giving them solutions to this. But look.
So who is going to bail the doctor?
The lawyer.
The lawyer now.
He'll get a lawyer.
When the lawyer will get a lawyer that will bail him, so that he can go to court. Because you don't know.
Oh, physician.
Hold on.
Heal thyself. Oh, lawyer thyself.
Wait, because which is actually under the law, you can actually represent yourself, which is very understandable. But now, according to the guy, the original person, that there is a lawyer that, except the lawyer recuses himself or he sacks his lawyer. Now, until his lawyer sorts himself out, he too cannot have a lawyer that way.
Well, no, he can actually tell the court that he wants to change lawyers. Let the lawyer be battling his own demons.
They both have demons. What were you thinking?
But the thing is, how smart are you, right? Like I said, I won't be caught on tape profiling a solution to this one.
So you seem to have a solution to it.
It's medical report though.
Yeah.
They don't fake medical reports. They don't need to fake one.
Exactly my point. Like you could have just gotten a doctor from that hospital.
You are going to say this on air now.
Sorry.
Yo, no. I closed my eyes. I did not see any evil. But it's interesting how you start the program and like, oh my God, and before you know it, 1 hour is gone. You know. So if you're just joining us, it's still the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG, and this is the Boom Bar. We're talking a lot of issues. We started with sports, but not sports, but we talked about COVID in sports and the Olympics and how beautiful it would have been if there was no global pandemic. And there's so many other things that we've been able to go through, and there's more.
Okay, so basically, there's also news that there's a group that is faulting INEC of the issues that's happening in Anambra, specifically the Anambra PDP crisis.
I only have one thing that I want to take a look at. I heard that even the APC might be having a crisis with their candidate.
Yeah, you know that was it about 2-3 weeks ago that the APC had, which that was what made me go on. I didn't know that they were having issues as well. When I think the governor of Lagos State and there was one other governor that was supposed to head the APC's reconciliation thing in Anambra State, and I'm wondering why are they reconciling? I'm sorry. The only good thing for APC is that at least there is a candidate that is there that the INEC recognizes. They don't have the issue that PDP has, or what's it called, or the APGA. But does not mean that if somebody goes to court now and is contesting that issue as well now, are you even sure that there's going to be an election?
It shows weak structures, weak organizations. It shows that.
But how come Anambra State is really this bad?
It's not just Anambra. To be honest with ourselves, our politicians are very, very lazy to the point where they just want to get a ticket, use it for 4 years, and come back for a renewal. They've not really put structures in place, because if they have strong structures,
and this is how this works.
It's difficult for another person to come up and say they are factionalizing your party. It's not even going to work if you have strong structures. Ouch. If you have strong structures, it will work. So how is it possible that there are two primaries by your party? At the end of the day, let's go and check the list. Maybe it's YPP and one of these other parties that will become governor.
Becoming governor, the way they are going.
With the smallest amount of legal votes cast. Because all these other parties are just playing around.
They're just playing
around. They're not serious. They don't really know what they want to do. Everybody just wants power for power's sake.
So basically, there's also a story that we talked about earlier, and this was about 2-3 days ago. I'm not sure now, about Winners Chapel.
Oh yeah.
About them sacking
About 40 pastors.
about 40 pastors
in Ekiti State.
Yeah, I think were they all in Ekiti State?
Most of them. I don't know if all, but yeah.
Okay.
You know, because the gist is that they're trying to build 10,000 local churches. That the vision that God had given them was to spread, to every nook and cranny.
So now, Bishop David Oyedepo, the general overseer himself, was talking. He actually replied, and he says that yes, they confirmed the sacking of those pastors, that they are failures, and that they were not fruitful.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Failure and not being fruitful. Vague. I would have wanted them to have tackled the allegations that people made that it was because they were not delivering X amount of money.
According to what he said that people are confused about our ministry. I learned some fellows said that, that they are not bringing income. That's why I asked them to go. He added, we asked you to go because you are unfruitful. Unfruitful, blatant failure. Doing what there? We have no patience with failure here. When we employed 7,000 people at a time, the social media was dead. We have more employees in this organization than most of the states. No one is owed a dime salary, and we don't borrow, we don't beg. Ask our bank whether we take overdraft. We're covenant bound, working in the light of God's way, enjoying an open heaven. Okay.
That's all?
Yeah, that's it.
I respect what they've said. I respect what they've done. But I don't still get the concept of sacking pastors. I thought those things were more spiritual than physical. That's what I thought.
That if they're not supposed to be fruitful, you will know from the onset.
Oh, yeah. They said many are called, but the chosen are few. And the ones that you have chosen have all failed. They have all failed. Now that they have all failed, what does that say about you? Who were the people you were in charge of, that you were training and bringing up to that level?
It's sad. Finally, before we go, I don't know if we have time to talk about it, but actually there's a report that has said, a report that's been compiled by the International Center of Investigative Reporting, that said that the NURTW and the RTEAN, that's the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, popularly known as Agberos, make about 123 billion naira from commercial drivers, motorcyclists and tricyclists every year in Lagos alone.
We can't even say anything about that very interesting report now. We can't do it